What's up, everybody? I am Mr. Straight Facts. This is the Mr. Straight Facts Show. All right. Pardon me for being late. My audio was out, so I had to kind of fix it. Play engineer for about half an hour. But anyway, I got it fixed now. So today was loaded with more of the, Epstein files debacle. It is, first of all, let's reset, okay? Let's just reset. The Epstein files, or whatever you want to call them, let's just deal with the reality. What did Epstein do? Epstein, I can't say it on here, I can say raped a plethora of girls, children, for years, got arrested for it, and somehow this guy, I forget his last name, I ain't gonna say Jim because he was Jim is the actual reporter, but this guy's last name was Acosta too. Prosecutor gets hired by Donald Trump in his first administration. The same dude that gave Jeffrey Epstein a sweetheart deal, pretty much let him go with a slap on the wrist, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Same guy who set up in this trial that not only that anybody associated with him would get the same deal that he got. He excused everybody that could potentially be in those files back then in 2016, 17, whichever one that was, that first one that he got arrested in. They let people go for that particular crime and anybody attached to it at that time. So this Acosta guy gave him this sweetheart deal, exonerated people who had been raping children. Okay? And then, after that, he was let go. He's at home. I mean, don't you have like a person coming to check every once in a while? Right? I mean, if you do a job, let's say that's a felony, but I say a lower felony. It's something like you just stole something or whatever it is. It's no longer a misdemeanor. Maybe you had a gun or whatever. It's a felony, right? And all you got was a bag of chips out of this shit, right? Didn't harm anybody, but you just had a weapon on you. I'm sorry, but you get like a handler, somebody that keeps checking in your crib to see if you still have a gun, right? So how is it that a man gets arrested for molesting children, sex trafficking children, gets a sweetheart deal, and nobody checks on this fool on the regular? That Acosta dude should have had that set up. So you let him get away with the ones he did it to and let him continue to do it for years. Am I to understand? So now we're talking about Epstein files like it's just the files. They're just boring, said Donald Trump. It's an old thing. He won't die, said Donald Trump. People who have been harmed by this man have died and not have gotten any kind of, not gonna say revenge, but anything like justice from this. Hasn't got any justice from it whatsoever. This man lived on an island. You really think that island was just for him and his girl and the people he decided to grape? You don't think he had these weird, freaky parties with Donald Trump and Melania? Come on. They were too damn close. And Donald Trump went packing as soon as this dude got arrested. I didn't know him that well to begin with. You knew him very well. There's videotape, or audio tape actually, of Jeffrey Epstein saying that me and him been cool for well over 10 years. This was back in 2017 or whatever. He got caught the first time. So 10 years we've been cool. That's my boy. And Trump's like, I don't know this fool. Right? He told that to Michael Wolff, some kind of writer, investigative writer, or whatever he is. Wolf, Wolff. You can probably find it. And that is what actually happened with this man. We didn't get into the gory details, but we got into the gist of it. Donald Trump was in a charge at one point that was dropped later of raping a 13-year-old girl alongside Jeffrey Epstein. You never heard Jeffrey Epstein say anything about like, this ain't me. It's just insane that we're talking about just files as if they weren't souls, baby girls that should have been out watching, Barbie movies and hanging out. You're talking about children this man attacked. And Republicans, they've been wanting to find these people as long as they think they're all Democrats. They are so much into finding them if they're Democrats. But if Donald Trump's on it, all he has to do is make a couple phone calls, and Charlie Kirk, I haven't heard Megyn Kelly say anything different. Laura Ingraham acting like she wasn't even there talking about him on this past weekend, like she didn't have nothing to do with it. We got video of it. I'm sitting there like, Get back to center. This is not a partisan issue. Everybody cares about children. They had no real choice in this matter. They were led to believe this was the thing to do. And again, as we may know, some of you may not, as a youngster, 12, 13, 14 years old, your brain ain't developed. Your brain ain't developed until you're up in your 20s. And this man lured them with other girls. He used the girls that he raped to lure other girls to tell them, we're just giving them a massage, girl. We chilling. Knowing she had already been infested with this shit. They collected her a few $100s in her Birkin bag. I think we need to humanize this shit more so than to say it's just a bunch of fucking files. It's a bunch of pedophiles that should be brought to light. And the reason why I say this pedophiles is because of Alan Dershowitz. See, people are saying that there's, just maybe it's and they've thrown it out there saying maybe it's just Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and these young children. That's it. Well, see, Alan Dershowitz got blamed for a minute there till the girl recanted, but she didn't say it wasn't him. She just said maybe it wasn't. She had the maybe in it. Because she probably couldn't remember every detail about the dude. But I'm pretty sure she knew it was him. The pressure on her was like, nah, I'm good. It ain't him. But she said maybe. She never had a definitive that it was not him. Go and look at the documents. He comes out. She got me all wrong, got me twisted. It wasn't this, that, and the other. But I know I got the files because I represented it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I know I can't say it because of my privilege and stuff like that, the lawyer privilege. But I can't say anything. But there's guys on there. I've seen it. But I can't say their names. Then he tries to exclude people. I'm like, wait a minute. You can't say names and you can't exclude or include anybody. But he's like, oh, it's nobody you know. It's nobody here we know. It's just different people. Sir, you can't just say it ain't nobody we know. We supposed to trust you. You're one of the people they thought they was raping. You was on that flight list, bruh. You were his lawyer, so to speak. So we're supposed to believe Alan Dershowitz. I'm going to tell you something. Alan Dershowitz used to be up here. People used to think, even Democrats, like, this is a really good dude. He knows what he's talking about, law and all this stuff like that. He used to be a pundit on MSNBC and CNN, I think it was. He was more somebody who's like, he's smart, he's bright. But as soon as this man was possibly on this list, this man went so far to the right and clung onto Trump. You'd be like, that's the Alan Dershowitz that I know? The one, that's not the same Alan Dershowitz. After this man got blamed, he went so far right, it's ridiculous. I was like, where is this? I thought this dude was kind of like neutral. He was just telling what the laws were, and he kind of like knew the laws. He would go back and forth on CNN with Chris Cuomo. Him and Chris Cuomo were like buddies going back and forth. But then all of a sudden, when 2016, all this shit like that, and Trump was talking about Epstein and all this other shit, that's when this dude totally flipped and went so far to the right. And now he's coming in trying to give Trump cover without saying I can't say anything. It's not who y'all may think it is. I got some people. I saw the list. Pam Bondi says it ain't no list, fool. So make up your mind. You saw a list. Pam Bondi says there isn't a list. Other people are saying it's just the 3 people. Well, the 2 people, Ghislaine, right? Epstein, and the children. So it makes sense that he has an island. He's got homies that he's going to share with the homies. If the homies can't have none in this situation, it ain't no fun. You know that. That's what y'all was doing. You think he didn't offer this commodity to you guys? You freaky people that always love power? Come on. You can't think that we won't be thinking like, oh, well, they did something. They had at least a few freaky parties. It can't just be P. Diddy. It can't just be him. Where do you think he learned this type of shit from? That he can get away with shit like this? From the freaky ass white people who have power that's been doing it for fucking ever. And getting away with it. So they want us to believe that there's nobody on it that we might know. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Nobody we know. Fine. So what? Gather the people that's on the tape. They said, this came out of Bondi's mouth, right in front of Donald Trump and the rest of them, at one of their little meetings where they congratulate Trump for breathing. Right? She said that she didn't want to put the video out because there was a bunch of pedophiles and it was like child porn, and they weren't going to put out child porn. Nobody ever asked you to. But you can put out the faces of the people and exclude the child. You can put out what they did in description and not the child nor the child's name. They tried to skate that by like, oh, we're not going to put out child porn. It's illegal. You know what's even more illegal? Acting out child porn. That's more illegal. The privacy of the child is totally different. You don't have to put out a name. You can redact that. But you got the man that's involved, or even the women that might be involved. Ghislaine was in it. We don't know for sure, but if I had to be a betting man, which I'm not, I'd probably lose, but if I had to be a betting man, Donald Trump and Melania was in on that shit too. You don't hang around with people on their island and they just sit there and don't tell you nothing about it. What y'all out there just smoking and drinking, having a good time? You're already rich. You live in a gold palace. You're just going to go hang out on the island just to be chilling. You, Donald Trump, was a Democrat, now Republican. You blame Bill Clinton. I knew something was up when he started blaming Bill Clinton probably on the list. Because I'm like, you and Pitt, before anybody know it, Donald Trump and Clinton were boys. They were tight. This picture of them and Hillary, all of them at some kind of like, it looked like they was at some kind of picnic inside somebody's house or something like that. Like they went over to somebody's house for a barbecue. It looked like something like you would see just in a regular ass place, nothing rich, just them chilling out. They all hung out. Like I said, I ain't got no like, oh, I'm attached to this group, I'm attached to this group. I don't care who it is. If you find that they harm children, let's get it. Democrat, Republican, I don't care who it is. Independent, I don't care whom. Pastor, priest, I don't care whom. If we're not going to protect the kids, you're going to protect the criminal? Republicans always talking this shit about they were family. You guys don't give a fuck about family. How you talking about you a family person when you would let your daughter get raped by a powerful white man or whatever man? It could be Latin, Asian. I don't know who all these people are. Just powerful men and women. And you just going to go home and have a cookie? Or you going to do something about it? Because you can't care about family if you don't want this list out and you're debating it. Every last person in it that felt the need to drop their pants and have you know what with a child, and you sitting here thinking about it? Republicans had a vote to bring this shit to life. All of them but one said no. That would force Pam Bondi to put out these fools' names. But according to Bondi, it ain't even there. Poof, the magic fucking dragon. It's just gone. If ain't nobody gonna fight for these kids, we gonna fight for them. Democrat, Republican, I don't give a fuck. They talking about winning Republicans gonna drop the ball on this and just let them. Fuck them. They try to live on some high moral shit. And when it turns out, some of them, I'm not gonna get all of them, I'm being factual here, that Donald Trump calls one of them, all of a sudden, they stop talking about it. I'm gonna let the government. You mean to tell me the Republicans who can't stand government is gonna let the government decide, Charlie Kirk? Wow. You were so railing against the government, and now all of a sudden you like the government, like, man, you're a government man now. That's crazy. How much money does it take for Butthead from Beavis and Butthead to turn his head around? Don't lie, he looks like Butthead. The big teeth, the little gums and shit, little teeth and big gums. He is Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Go look it up. You're going to trip when you see it. It's him. Made to life, the live action figure. It's crazy. So we're gonna watch some videos and stuff of that nature to give you some better understanding if you didn't get to see it today. First thing I got for you is Donald Trump trying to flip. He's trying to flip the script on people. Let's listen to this fool. And I do mean fool is too easy. Listen to this jackass.
These files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden information. We went through years of that with the Russia hoax.
Say what? This man just blamed Comey, Biden, and Obama for pushing conspiracy theories about Jeffrey Epstein. What? I mean, that's the go-to for them. Anybody. It could be an object. It was this bat, this cup, and some glasses, and this air freshener. It's all them that did it. They said it. Even though they don't speak, it's telepathy. It was this cup that said it. That's who said it. The cup did it. And MAGA be like, fuck that cup. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cup can't speak. That cup is loud. That's how fucking stupid they are. This fool, Comey was gone. Obama was gone. It's unfucking believable. They have got to be like, this has got to be like, the 25th Amendment. There is something wrong with this man. He's trying to push away something with nonsense in hopes that the little keywords that he uses for these stupid people to act is that he said Obama, I must agree. It's stupid. Like Obama wasn't there. Okay, he said Comey. Comey wasn't there. It was Donald Trump. And he's bringing up shit that makes absolutely no fucking sense, y'all. And I guarantee you, these fools, many of them will believe him. They'll make some videos about Obama did it. I'm like, where was Obama at when this stuff came out? They made the documents, y'all. They made these documents. I think the evidence comes from the actual, people who committed the crime. If they got the criminal information, who gives a shit who wrote it? The information is there. The evidence is there. So therefore, they might have wrote a file up, put the file together, not those people, but put the file together. But what has that got to do with anything? I mean, you have to be a first-class idiot to think that the person who put the files together is culpable and responsible for the actual crimes at hand. They put my name in there. If it wasn't for them to put my name in there, it was Russia, Russia, Russia. And that's supposed to get them to click in. Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. I must repeat. I must follow. Russia, Russia, Russia gets them up. It's like that moment when you in the movies where they say something and the person just goes into a trance and starts repeating whatever the fuck this person says. Exactly. Hit the words Russia, 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 and these fools just get in line. Hit Obama. Oh, I'm like, come on. Fucking wake up already. Y'all been asleep too fucking long on this stupid shit. This man just blamed somebody and some people just randomly. They weren't even working together or any of this shit. And the thing that also gets me is when they say stuff like, well, if why didn't President Biden put this stuff out when President Biden was president? I'm like, do you know the difference between President Biden's administration? You should know by now because you've seen it. And President Trump's administration? You see, Biden followed the rules of let the FBI, let the CIA, let the rest of the alphabet boys and girls do their fucking jobs, and I won't interfere with that shit because I'm not supposed to. It's illegal for me to interfere and have somebody at the head of my FBI going to get somebody I don't like. That's illegal. That's not a part of the process. So why would President Biden go against everything he stood for and the law to have the office of the FBI, DOJ, CIA, and all that seek people and do their job the way he wanted them to do it? That's not his job. His job is to run the country and make decisions for us. DOJ, independent. They shouldn't listen to a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. They should listen to the letter of the law and the fucking Constitution. That's why you didn't have the president have anything to do with anything. But in this situation, Donald Trump has all of those alphabet organizations on speed dial, and let alone he put all these sycophants who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Kash Patel? Come on. Little cockeyed little dude? No. You got Dan Big Head Bonjano, or Banjano, whatever the fuck his name is. Get tired of saying his last fucking name. Bingo. I'm gonna start calling his ass Bingo. Dan, Bingo. That dude. Big head. Boof. That dude. Him with hairline that start back behind his ears. That dude. Got him leading the part. He's the second in command FBI. Christy N.O.M.A, Christy Cosplay N.O.M.A. This chick dresses wherever she goes. She goes to the bathroom, she dresses as toilet paper. Everywhere she goes. Alligator Alley. Bitch got on something with an alligator on it. Goes overseas. This bitch dressed up like a soldier. Ain't served one day. Cosplay N.O.M.A. She's got to dress like her job in order to look like she knows what the fuck she's doing, because ain't nothing up here to qualify her for the job. You got Pam Bondi. Everybody calling her Blondie. Not me. Republicans calling her that. They know She dumb. She looked like a deer in headlights every time she fucking talks. I'm like, bitch, close your eyes a little bit. The fuck is this shit? And eat something already. Even her nose is waif. Shit, you can see the bones in that bitch where cartilage is supposed to be. She dodging questions about it. Lady, you said it was on your desk. How far could it be? If it's right here, copy it, bitch. Send it. How hard is it? That little document you said you had, they don't have pictures in it. That's just the documentation of the names. You said you had it. What'd you do? You have a bunch of files. You said a file. Did you have a bunch of not floppy disk, but just this disk and shit that had hard drives on it? You didn't say that. You said it had files. The files would be the names, everything calculated. We got 1,500 photos describing each one. Jeffrey Epstein with this girl, somebody, whatever his name is, Prince Andrew with this girl, 3 times a week, things like that. That's not child porn. That is names. And you said you had it on your desk. How hard could it be? It went from it's on my desk to it doesn't exist. This is not a game. And why they playing with it, I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Maybe MAGA lied about everything on the list. But you know what you can't lie about? The man raped children. He went to jail for it. Ghislaine's in jail for 20 years for it. They both raped children and coerced them to go get other children for them. And she trying to get out of jail. And Donald Trump, I think they said he just said no, but she was up to be able to get out. But see, he's in this trap right now. He don't know what to do. So he calls his buddies and he's like, hey, do me a favor there, butthead. Do me a favor. Get on TV and say you're going to stop talking about it. Do me that favor real quick. And that's exactly what he does. Gets on TV. Well, he's recorded as well. He's on YouTube or whatever it was, on his podcast or his show. And he says this.
Plenty was said this last weekend at our event about Epstein. Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being.
Say what? I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. You just talked about him last weekend. But see, it came out that Donald Trump called you butthead. And Donald Trump is the Beavis in this situation, I guess. So Beavis called Butthead, or just say Fat Beavis called Butthead. And Butthead turned around and said to his audience of, I don't know how many, probably millions, because this dude had everybody twisted. And he has all these functions, organizations that he goes to with little to no education. And he goes out here and spews bullshit and debates people because he's more of a person who believes he's something, and he believes it, knowing damn well he has nothing to back it up. His stats are all crap. He went over to like England and debated, young people, I guess around his age, maybe younger, it looked like. Waxed the floor with them. Left them there speechless. He's like, didn't know shit. I'm like, dude, you this is the problem. A lot of these white nationalist men think they got something up here. And the only reason they think they got it is because their skin's white. That's it. No homework done. The only homework they do is lies. They'll make it up. They'll roll with the punches. As long as I can have 16 to 20 other idiots in my room that believe in the crap that I spew, I'm smart. I promise I am. And they believe it so much, they get other people to believe it. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, anybody that's within earshot that's a Charlie Kirk fan, I promise you, speak to him, then Google it. Don't leave his site. Google it. Please don't. I ain't saying you gotta be bright. Any one of you mega idiots, once he speaks, boop, 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 that ain't true. I guarantee you. There's nothing this man spits. He brings out stats. You'd be like, where the fuck you get that from? He thinks you're not going to check his shit. That's the thing. Their whole game is, you're never going to check my shit in front of me. You'll learn I lied once I left. So therefore, it looks like I told the truth. Because you don't have any stats to fight me with it. And the only time they have stats is when they come up to these debates. They'll bring up some shit they heard from some far right-wing economist or some shit. Dude only works for like crazy ass, crazy. Nobody respects them. And they'll be like, well, according to this, that, and the third. I'm like, who that? Oh, you don't know him? He's a renowned conservative economist. I'm like, really? Then why come nobody else know him? But we know other economists that are mainstream. Your guy's like far conservative. I'm like, can he help you guys balance a fucking budget? Because you haven't done it on the Republican side forever. And he chose to go on your side of the team when you guys have never balanced the budget. So how the fuck is he a great economist when he's giving you guys ideas on what the fuck to do and you've never fucking done it? Either that or you listen to him and you've done what he's told you to do and you've never balanced the fucking budget. Maybe you should hire him or fire him, but just bringing him up to give me kind of facts about shit in your whack ass party is ridiculous. Just pass this big trash ass bill and it's going to put us more in debt by trillions. How is that being fiscally conservative? Going to give tax cuts to people who are going to do what? Buy back stocks. I mean, dude, just go back to the last time y'all did it. What happened? Did it increase the economy? Fuck no. The time before that, did it do anything great? Did a lot of jobs created? Fuck no. Go back before that. Did it do it? Fuck no. So why are you trying it again? You just, hopefully you're going to get it one day? No. The reason why you keep doing it, because it works for the rich and no one else. So it has worked all those times for the rich people. For everybody else, it does not. They keep doing it because you average, poor, dumbass people keep thinking it's helping you, but it's helping them. Wake the fuck up. You'll see that even within your party, they really don't have your best interest. None whatsoever. Not unless you're rich. A few dollars and pennies they give back to you, they raise up everything else so that by the end of the year, you owe more money than you make. If you get $1,000 now from, let's say, this big, beautiful bill, what do you think is going to happen when all these tariffs kick in? Over $4,000 per family is going to be gone. The BBB bill, your insurance is going to go fucking up like ridiculous. A lot of you are going to lose your insurance. Some of you are going to get sick, and many of you will die. You did that shit to yourselves. For what? To be a part of a group that tells you they're helping you when they're turning over and bending over and sticking it to you. And you're like, yeah. What? Go pay attention to what they say. And then go look at history and see what it's done for you. Saying yes to Republicans and billionaires is a reason why that you have to work more than one job to get by today. Those billionaires, they do it with Democrats too, don't get me wrong. But Democrats at least create programs for the people. There are Democrats and Republicans that both fucking deal with the rich and that's it. There are Democrats who focus that if we're going to deal with the rich, we got to give something to the poor, programs and some money. They say, give you a few dollars and shut the fuck up. And you rather shut the fuck up, but they give you a few dollars. These people are saying we need programs. Because if you don't have Social Security, if you don't have all these other programs, if you can't feed your family day to day, you're going to start eating the rich. Democrats are trying to balance the fact of we're working for billionaires, but we're working for the people. More for the billionaires than the people, but we're working for the people too. They're splitting it somehow, maybe 60-40. Republicans are 100% zero. And they keep on feeding them this game. Oh, you know what? We can't afford to pay for that. We can't afford to pay for this. And in the back room, how much you need? $400 million. For what? Oh, I'm just going to build this house that melts. Really? Yeah, it melts. It's crazy. Turns into chocolate. Really? I want to see that. Go ahead. $400 million. Then look over here at you. What do you mean you need to eat? The fuck? Get a job. What? You mean to tell me the measly $150 you give me a month, you pissed off about? But this fool building a house that melts into chocolate, you cool with that shit? That's Republicans for you. Never have a plan for the people. Always have a plan for the billionaires. All they got for anybody in their party is to tell you to be conservative. They don't even know what the fuck it means. The dude who created conservatism, go look at him. He dead now, I'm sure. He was old as fuck when I listened to him. I listened to his dry ass, crusted mayonnaise speech for fucking hours. I'm like, this man, and at the end, who knows what conservatism is and could be, but what? You don't even know what the fuck it is, and you created it? You came up with this shit? You like the master of it? Everybody loves you and bow down to you, and at the end, you don't even know what conservatism really fucking is? And you're going to sit here and talk about, oh, I'm a conservative. You don't even know what the fuck it is. If the dude who like mastered it or whatever the fuck they call him, everybody bowed to, ends his speech when he don't know what the fuck it really is, how the fuck you know what it is? You don't. It just sounds good. You sound like you're better than somebody else. I pay my bills on time. So anybody could do that. Everybody does mostly. So we all have a little bit of conservatism, isn't it? You don't have it. You don't own it as a Republican. In fact, if you looked at history, the only one who's coming close to true conservatism are Democrats. They're the only ones who've ever paid the bills down, ever. You guys have always raised them. Go look at it. Go way back, when we only owed like $500,000 for there's a lot back then, but we owed like $500,000 for our national debt. And it was the liberal people who paid it the fuck off. We owed nothing. America didn't owe shit. Went from 500 something to zero. Only time it's only been done in history. One time. Liberal people did it. Not Republicans. So how the fuck y'all own conservatism? I don't fucking know. It is a fucking brain fuck game here. I don't understand that. People just say it enough times you believe you are. It ain't true. It's not true. Never has, never will be. I don't know what your party could be classified as, but it's sure as fuck ain't conservatism. Not fiscally conservative. Now, if you go into another word of conservative means like you don't want to change, you kind of stay the same. That's them in a sense. But when they always talk about it, they try to confuse the two or fuse the two. I'm conservative, which means fiscally conservative. No, it doesn't. You that trashy part of conservative. I don't want to change for nothing. That may be you. But paying off your bills is not something. As you can see, this big, beautiful bill is not paying off its bills. So therefore, it's not conservative. Oh, they drive me nuts. But anyway, continue with this fool.
I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands.
Balls in their hands. And this right here, Dinesh D'Souza.
I'm going to talk about the Epstein files, and I'm going to make the case that even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein.
Why they keep excusing this shit? Even though there's unanswered questions, then answer them. I just like I always tell you guys, I put myself in a position of people. I put myself in a position, and I can't really be in that position, but I put myself in a position of a father, of a brother, of a friend, of one of the girls who got raped. And there is no way in hell I would sit here and be like, let's stop talking about it. It would be what I do when I wake up. It'd be what I think about when I go to sleep. And these are the same people that don't give a fuck about people who shoot up schools. These weird ass people have said, oh, nobody died in that school shooting. It was just a hoax. They had to sue that Alex dude for $1 billion or something like that to get him to shut the fuck up about it. He had an audience that wanted to hear that shit of millions. Dead bodies, babies is laid across the school. And these fools are like, it was fake. It was a hoax from the government. And here we are with these kids. Nobody's caring about them. Some of them have gone to see their maker, never getting peace, never getting justice. And these people just like, maybe we should just listen to Donald Trump and stop talking about it. Let rape children just die already. It sounds gross, because it fucking is.
It is, in fact, time to move on.
Conservative influencers were eating their own about Epstein.
They were eating their own about Epstein. This is the trick. That was at that same conference saying, which one of you guys, how many of you guys, all backwards, clap your hands if you like what they're doing. And they're like, boo. I said clap, you didn't get it. Why would I clap for somebody's in the audience say it's like, we don't like it? She said, okay, I was getting to that. So you was trying to find out in the audience, were you like polling for Donald Trump to see what's the difference between the room? Like if 50-50, then he might have a chance. So you was polling for him, I guess? Because she's saying they're out here eating their young. She's talking about you, MAGA. She ain't talking about the leaders. She's talking about you that was out in that audience trying to eat each other. You weren't trying to eat each other. You were the ones that made fucking sense finally. You woke the fuck up and realized the dude that actually got charged for what a judge said is capable of, or that you could say of raping a woman in a Bergdorf dressing room many years ago and millions of dollars he has to pay, like now I think like 80 or whatever the hell it is. You mean a rapist is covering up for a rapist? And the rapist knew the other rapist? And they were close and tight? And the rapist has many times talked about his daughter like she was a woman that he would date at one point in time? He called his own child voluptuous? You mean that dude? You don't think that boy, in my entire life, I'm 54, I ain't never heard a grown-ass man talk about a child like that. Ever. Donald Trump is the only one in public that I've ever heard that. That's why it grosses me out, because I'm like, I've never heard somebody speak like this. Now, there may be a lot of people out there that are like this. I know there are. But they don't speak about it. Then maybe you'd be happy if they did. That way you can kind of keep them away from you. But Donald Trump has said it many a times. Grab him by the pussy. I did this, that, and the third. Nobody has stopped him. Nobody has said he needs to be under investigation. This shit's sick. Not one. Republican or Democrat. Independent. Ain't nobody said this man needs to be investigated for his shit. Now I know lawyers and shit like that have tried to do certain things, and they dropped that one girl's case, a 13-year-old girl. She was older at the time, but she was 13 when it happened. But everybody else, nobody's really tried to charge him with anything that has to deal with this type of shit. They gave him a sweetheart deal and tried to give the men and women who were involved in this type of shit the same sweetheart deal they gave him at the very beginning, that they can't be charged. And that's what Ghislaine Maxwell now, after she got charged for this 20 years, while she hasn't been there for a while, one of her outs is to say in the previous case, when they let him go, it had a clause in there for, letting them, the way they let Epstein go, all the people involved had that same type of clause that they could get out of it too, the sweetheart deal. So she's trying to say that sweetheart deal still was in place, so she can't get charged for something that, this is, I guess she's saying that she didn't do it after that. This is all about stuff that happened back then, and not after that happened, they didn't do it again. I don't know, but that's what she's trying to say, according to certain sources. I didn't hear it from her own mouth, but that's insane. And she's trying to get out of jail for it. I mean, think about this for a second. You harmed kids for more than a decade, probably 20 years, probably more. And you have no remorse. You don't want to sit your ass in jail and say, I think about this, I fucked up. Yep. She's trying to get out. And the only way I think she should get out is she rat on everybody. if she tells every last soul and has evidence and they do some time, let her go. House arrest for the rest of her life, but let her go. And nobody gets to come over unless you tell them they can come over. You got to notify. Anybody coming in the house, they can't come in the house. Family only. No little kids. Nobody younger than, I don't care if she got a niece or nephew, young, she can't see them except through a glass window or some shit. But let her go. Just tell on everybody, though. Because she decided not to tell. She's still alive. Epstein supposedly unalived himself. That's a part of the conspiracy that they nobody really knows. But they try to put out a tape and get everybody fooled to believe that's happening. But you got Laura Ingraham on here telling everybody, MAGAs that is, every MAGA, that they were eating their own. Lady, who's watching your show other than MAGA? So you literally was telling the people who watching your show they eating each other. They don't make any sense. How, MAGA viewers, are you giving her ratings? And she's just literally saying, you're stupid for even listening to this. Let's move on and talk about Donald Trump and his accolades. Watch this.
The president was stealing the show on the one-year anniversary of the day he almost lost his life.
Plenty was said.
What in the flying... Y'all, she just gave Donald Trump credit, saying that he was at this function, it's like football function, we call soccer or whatever, and he was stealing the show. He did not steal the show, ladies and gentlemen. He did not steal the show. You know what he did? I can say he probably did steal it because he's a thief, but he kind of grifted it, trying to put his name and face on something to get it into another topic, because Fox stopped talking about the Epstein stuff. And then when they even mention it, they kind of like debase Democrats when they say it. Like it's like Epstein and Democrats are like hand in hand. And I don't know that to be true or false, but I know that Donald Trump was a Democrat and he's a Republican now, and they all love him. So I don't know. But this man went to this function, right? And you see him, he had that gold trophy or whatever, helping him carry it. They did not want him in the shot, yo. They tried to get him to walk off more than once. They tried to lead him away from the picture and everything like that. It was just going to be the players. And Donald Trump just stood there, even though he's being told to leave. They didn't show that on Fox. But they didn't want him in the photo. They're trying to move him along. Go ahead, old man. Take your orange ass on. Go on. Get. Just like one of those animals that you feed and never leave your doorstep. Feed it. Go to sleep. Wake up. The fool's still right there looking at, like, what's the next meal you about to give me? You got something else? Some pate? Like, nah, fool. Go find somebody else. That's what they tried to do with him. Get. And this fool just stood there. Come on, take a picture with me. I helped you guys win. I'm the president. We don't give a fuck who you are. But he stayed there. She's talking about stole the show. No, he stayed in a photograph that everybody told him to get the fuck out of. If you want to call that stole the show, yeah, that's what he did. Stole the show. These people don't even tell the truth when shit comes around. It's fucking insane. They've been throwing, what's her name? Pam Bondi. Today, Donald Trump said, yeah, Pam Bondi, you know, she can be the one that you talk to. I told her to do whatever she's going to do. She's been making a good decision so far. You know, you just talk to her. These reporters, they get on my nerves, y'all. It is too easy to rebut that. So just talk to her. Like, sir, they pay attention to you. Why would I talk to her when she makes decisions? She says she gets it from you. So if I'm asking you and you told her to do it, then she would give it to us expeditiously. But instead, you're sending me to her to blame her for not giving it to you, and she's not giving it to us because of you. What say you? instead of just taking that shit and keeping it rolling. You know damn well he's trying to push it off on Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi's going to be at the end of this fired. He first shows that, this is what happened last time when Donald Trump was president. Whenever somebody began to have all this attention, good or bad, off of him, if he was fucking up and this on their shoulder, he loves it. But once they start coming for her neck, and then that neck starts to say, wait a minute, let me put a hand on his neck, that's when he gonna drop her ass. It's her fault. Barely even knew her. I mean, it's so many times you can count this shit out. I don't know what day it's gonna happen, but he's going like, I didn't know her. I didn't know her that she was doing this. I didn't know that. I barely even knew her. That shit's gonna come up as soon as she gets thrown under the bus. She seemed like she was great. She was wonderful, but she had to go, or she quit. I didn't really want her to go, even though you kicked her out. I didn't want her to go because she was doing a good job, but it's probably best for her. Same shit, yo. It is the exact same shit. It's on repeat. It's on repeat. They keep playing these fools like a harp. And they just keep on falling for it. Now, the MAGA base that don't have audiences, the ones who believe their Lord and Saviors, whatever it goes across the board, the Bonginos, Bingo was his name, old dude. Baldo was his name, that dude. You got Cash Patel, all these people's audience. The reason why they got millions of dollars is because they grifted the fuck out of these people. And these people got so enamored, not only with their stardom, but with their belief system. In their belief system, which I truly believe Bongino believes what he's talking about, but he knows he's got a little grift in there. That's why he went back to work today and then quit. Donald Trump was like, yo, man, I need you to cover my back, man. Oh, Bongino, excuse me. Is it the babies you care about or your reputation with the MAGAs? I told you these guys never really had any kind of like morality. They always talked about it. They preached a good game. But you notice everything shifted. Donald Trump said, grab him by the pussy. You thought that they was like, oh no, I can't have that. You thought they was like super prudish because they always have been. Oh my God, he cursed. Oh my God. I can't hear that. My spirit. They did it all the time. If you know my age, if you're in the 50s or more seasoned, Republicans were so tight wadded. Oh, that's the devil dancing right there. So tight wadded. Believing in their supposed religion and family values and everything. All that shit went out the window with Donald Trump. They didn't give two shits about none of that. Only thing they care about is the abortion thing. And they really don't care about life. They just want more white babies because they're dwindling in numbers. I mean, it's too easy to see. They're going after the next big group. If Asians were having more babies in this country and their numbers were growing, that it was almost like surpassing in the next 20, 30 years, they would surpass white men. Shit. Look out, Asians. You next. Black people, we already know we was always on the chopping block. We never got off that bitch. We've been on it for centuries. Latin people getting it because their numbers are growing fastest. I said it. You think I'm prophetic? No, I just paid attention to numbers and stats. I read a lot about this shit. I did research on Hitler and any other dictator. I looked up racists and all this shit from the past, where they treated black people, Asian people. Just being learned, you can see this shit like you got on goggles to the future. Because it ain't nothing but shit repeating. It ain't nothing new under the sun right here. This whole thing has been done before. Go back and look, and you'll see what's the next phase. It's coming up. They're taking Latin people. Oh, they've got to get the criminals, the evil ones. And now they're just getting any one of them. They're taking children. When did that child kill somebody or rape somebody? Oh. I said that, didn't I? Well, he could be a future rapist. Racism. And they said we didn't have racism, and they kicked that shit up. It was already racist. We already had a racist country. But now they're kicking it up 1,000 notches. And what's so crazy about it is the racists don't see it. All the rest of us do. They'll tell you they're not racist, but if you ain't seeing it, you're racist. Because you're looking at a group of people you know ain't criminals. And because they're brown, you down with fucking with them. Don't get it twisted. Black people see it. We've been seeing it. That's one thing about validation for black people who've always said racism is here. And we've had Latin people, we had some Asian people, we had some white people, we had some black people telling us we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're just being negative. And then now opening their eyes. I didn't know it was going to be like this. We told you. What the fuck you think this is what kills me with people. You think we like racism so much that we just talk about it because we just like fucking talking about it? Or do we want to end it? Of course we want to end it. And the way you end it is you make people admit it and get it out their spirit. It's too easy for Donald Trump to get too many millions of people in this country to have glee in being a racist by saying they're not racist. How many of these people white is they picking up? There are millions of people in this country illegally from Canada, from France, from Spain, Europe countries again, from all over the fucking globe that are white. They're bringing those bitches to this country. South Africa, one of the dude was a criminal. They brought a white criminal here and left that shit like, well, we didn't know he was a criminal. He looked good because he was white. Look into his record, he got a record. Also, you brought a white criminal here. You're trying to get rid of Latin ones who've been living here and love the country and working in this country. You didn't catch them with a crime. You just, back in the day when they were so poor, they stole a piece of bread. And now they got a record for stealing to eat. But they've been working their ass off 20 years. You going back in, oh, you stole somewhere, you're a criminal, you got to go. This dude supposedly unalived his wife. You bring his South African white ass to this country and give him a free reign. This ain't racism. I don't know what the fuck it is. It sure as hell ain't right. And we know that. We got a couple more things that went on today. People who came out, spoke out about this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. You got Lauren Boebert. Haven't seen her in a minute. Looked like she just went through like a Earl Scheib and got her ass tan somewhere. This woman got the orange brown shit going on. It's crazy, but hey, to each his own. Some people like to get cooked.
No one is satisfied with the rollout of this. Of course, we've heard that Dan Bongino is not satisfied with the rollout of this either. We need a special counsel. That has got to happen. There has to be a special investigation into this if we aren't going to be provided information. Maybe Matt Gaetz can lead the special counsel.
Would you vote in favor of that?
Absolutely.
This trick said Matt Gaetz, another rapist. A guy who brought a underage child over the Hatch Act, is it? Whatever it is, brought an underage child for sex to another state, traveled across state lines, and showed pictures amongst his other Republicans. Remember that? And it didn't come out until they was pissed off that he didn't vote for something. They said, yeah, he had pictures of underage girls. I'm like, oh, so you're speaking now about the young girl that he was paying to have you know what with, that was underage. You're speaking about it now after he wouldn't vote for something that you wanted. But prior to that point, you was looking at these photographs. Degenerates, all of them, the whole lot. Degenerates. She looked like a Bratz doll, right? Life-size Bratz doll. That was a good one, Michael McCullough. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know that DJW. He says, and yet some of these black content creators are defending this administration. I ain't defending this administration or the last one when it comes to this thing, because if these things are true, it should have been released. Under any president, it should have been released. These people are still harming young people, children. You think they just stopped? They had an affinity for this shit. And now they know they got away with it? The power is sickening. You know they're going to be doing that shit. They probably doing it right the fuck now. And every day that goes by, these same people who have not been fucked with are doing it. If you don't get them off the street, think about this. All these years that they haven't done anything, they let him come back. How many girls, even young boys, how many of them have been raped? While these people sit there and twiddle their fucking thumbs. Like I said, think a little bit deeper than the surface. You're talking about past acts. These individuals partook in this. They have an affinity for this, meaning they aren't going to stop until you stop them. So when you say, they're over there raping more children, new victims, blood is on their hands for this shit. I'm sorry, I can't. We gotta do that. They gotta let this shit happen. They gotta let this shit out. All of them gotta let it out. And I mean, I understand it. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if anybody is on this shit. Republican, Democrat, Independent, handicapped. I don't give a fuck who is on it. It has to stop. It's just that simple. And they're debating about a file. Like, we get tired of this. Who want to talk about this? What? If there are people still doing this, it's more important than just the files themselves. The files lead us to the people. And we know by Alan Dershowitz, there are actual people on an actual file because he said he saw it. He tried to recant that shit in another interview. Well, I saw the... No, bro. You said it back after the case was over, whatever, and that girl said you wanted. You said it. That it was you saw the file. You said you seen it. As a lawyer, you saw it. You can't backtrack and say it wasn't there. The video's out, bro. It's out. You can't just turn around and say it is not. It's insane. It's sickening how these people, these white men, racist white men, sexist white men, because how could you do that to a child and then walk around everybody and act like you're a leader in this country? Think about it. There are rich, mostly I'm sure white, but I'm pretty sure all different races. I'm not sure what they all are because I can't say. But let's just say there are rich, powerful men. Let's leave it that way. Rich, powerful men that are out there raping children right now that's on that list, and they're playing fucking tiddlywinks with it. Think about it like that. How sick is it then? Quit thinking of it as a piece of fucking paper. It's not just a piece of fucking paper. It's people and victims. And so did Mike Johnson have a little something to say.
It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents. Is that?
No, when she originally made the statement, she was asked a question by the Fox reporter or anchor or whatever. He said directly to her, the Jeffrey Epstein files, right? About this. Are the Jeffrey Epstein files? They were wanting to know what the Jeffrey Epstein files were. And she said, they're on my desk right now. So what came out of her mouth wasn't those exact words that people said. It was the reporter. It was her response to what the anchor male said to her, asked her the question about these they were talking about these Jeffrey Epstein files of men who basically raped young girls and children. Do you have the list, and is the list going to come out? And she said that list of what he said, the continuation of it, that list is on my desk right now. And just like another person said, I saw today, they said, what person that has any morality at all would know that the file that has the names, faces, and videos of of children being raped, and you're going to just look at the file and say, it's on my desk. The moment that thing hit her desk, how many of you would have just looked at it and walked out? What kind of person would have the file of all this shit and say you didn't look at it? Maybe you don't have whatever the files are, maybe old, maybe cassette tapes, maybe whatever he had, beta, I don't know what he had. So maybe not that. And I'm pretty sure they converted it over, but still, let's just say you don't have nothing to play it. You didn't look through the files and see the names? To see if they even had a list of names? You had no, you weren't inquisitive? I wonder what is in this. Let me open this up. You didn't think that at all? The biggest thing that you and your MAGA people have been asking for years. I mean, you got right here in this file, right? I don't have a file thing on me. This file, right? You got this file that you believe is going to have Bill Clinton in it. It's going to have Hillary Clinton in it. You think it's going to have Obama, and it's going to have Michelle Obama, and it's going to have all the Democrats in it. And it's going to show you where the people who had Pizzagate and they was drinking the blood of children, all of that big ass rainbow of fucking pedophiles and shit you guys been talking about for a fucking decade is in this file, and you told me you walked the fuck out without looking at it? I call bullshit. Either it doesn't exist or majority of them bitches are Republicans. If they saw Bill Clinton's name in that bitch, that'd be the first thing. It'd be on Fox by the end of the day. But you gonna tell me you ain't looked at it? Yeah, right. You ain't looked at it when you been trying to talk about Pizzagate. To prove your stereotypes and your fucking conspiracy theories, you can't tell me you wasn't inquisitive to find out when it hit your desk. You literally told them, I'm on this interview and yeah, it's on my desk now. Have you gone through it? You should know something. I can't tell you. You could at least said that. I got it on my desk. I can't tell you exactly what's in it, but there's some crazy stuff going on in it. No, it's on my desk. I ain't even looked at it. Got no answers for you. And then we'll proceed later to have interviews other days, promising all kinds of crap that's going to come, bringing some of these right-wing nut jobs to the White House and giving them a folder that says the number one folder that has Jeffrey Epstein folder number one, like there's a 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. Big old pile of absolutely nothing. Everything you can find on the internet. That's what's there. Everything you can find on the internet was there, and all, blacked out. Same shit you could have found just downloading it. But the pageantry of it all. You can tell that was Donald Trump's making. She was just in front of it. Because that's his gig. Play reality show. We got to get good ratings. So get them all in front. Give them a folder. That's Donald Trump's thing. Give you a folder or nothing. Donald Trump, remember? I don't want people to forget. Donald Trump's first presidency, and this one too, but mostly in his first presidency, that fool would come out with a stack of empty ass papers. Just put them on a desk. Look at all those papers, those files. Look at them. What for? Ain't shit in them. Those are all the files. We got all of them. All the election stuff, fraud. It's right there. Okay, take them to court and win. You mean I'm supposed to produce it to a judge or something? Yeah, because if that's the files that you got, go prove it. But you've seen it, though. Don't you just believe it by seeing it? Nope. What you mean? My magic ain't working no more? Hell no, it never did. Dipshits is the only reason they listen to that shit. Take it to a court, and guess what? They tried 60 plus fucking times. And what did it end up to? A lot of lawyers going to jail and being charged with shit. And Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York, that got this big name for being a great person because of 9/11. This fool is sitting at home selling veggie fucking, like, what do you call that shit? Gummy bears. Done lost everything. You got the pillow guy, broke as fuck, talking about he got all kinds of information. Tune in to my show. These people, he lost everything because he wanted to be a star on TV. He was tired of sitting around in the bedrooms with pillows and shit. Get yours, 2 for 1, 5 for 7. He lost everything doing it. This dude believed in his bullshit so much. He told you, come, I got all the files right here. Go find. You can look through them. You can find all the information. The dude said, if you can prove that I'm wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'll give you $3 million or $4 million, some shit like that. 2.5 million. The dude won $2.5 million from him. Because once he said, I figured out to be wrong. I'm a computer analyst, IT dude. And here's proof that you're wrong. I said, what? You ain't gonna never get that money. Then he got the 2.5 million. But then he went to court. He lost the pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He lost. He owes the dude 2.5, but he told him he's broke. He can't pay for it. Starts selling off equipment for the pillows. Yeah, it was $5 million swift returns, but he only got 2.5. I think he went to court. He took it to court and they knocked it down, I think, to 2.5. I think. Not unless he paid 2.5 and owed 2.5 more, but I saw an article where it says he got 2.5. But he told them that he couldn't pay it. So I'm sure he didn't really get anything. They may have sold off some stuff to pay it off, I guess, but it's crazy. Yeah, 5 Alarm Fire, I agree. I really agree. Let me put you guys' information up here. I always try to do that. I truly agree that you think everyone in Trump's orbit is going to end up losing everything. Of course. I mean, how could you go around saying some of the most craziest shit, believing in the most craziest shit, and then after a while, I even said a long time ago, after Donald Trump kept winning and winning no matter what, and these MAGAs didn't believe it, I said the MAGA's going to eat him eventually because he's going to do something so egregious that they're just not going to come back from it. And I didn't know it was going to be Jeffrey Epstein, not at all. I wish I did. I could have bet on that shit, made some money. But I knew that it was going to have to be something that they all wanted that Donald Trump could not produce. I always knew it was going to be, in a sense, one of their conspiracy theories. But I didn't know which one. Because if they got into office, they're going to have to prove it. And if they can't prove it, then they're part of the deep state. Now, if you really know the truth, based upon evidence and documentations and people who actually spoke about it, the real deep state was Donald Trump and his people. And the actual, they tried to implement the deep state the first time, but there was too many people that were there that knew what the fuck they was doing. They said, Donald Trump, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he was so pissed off about it. So when he came to president the second time, he created Project 2025. That is the deep state. All the things they're doing behind the scenes, they said it, not me. You got Russ Vogt. I showed you guys a video many, many months ago, if you was around, the video of Russ Vogt. See if I got the video in my files or not. See if I can go back. But Russ Vogt literally said that he was the one that is going to create a shadow-like government that does things behind the scenes to be able to get rid of their deep state. Well, there wasn't a deep state, but he's talking about creating one. And I was like, he said that shit out in open in this little documentary. He didn't know that he was being recorded by these people. But it's insane that this man said what he's going to do, and he's doing it. And these people don't read. Luckily, a few of them starting to read. I've been seeing it. It's been giving me hope to see, 2 or 4 of them actually come out and say, yeah, I finally read it and I agree now that it's wrong. And I voted wrong. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, what are we going to do about it? You need to fight. Get into the game and start fighting. Your content needs to be getting your people back in. Your content needs to be like, hey, I was wrong. This is what I found out. I was wrong. This is what I found out. You know them more than we do. Go to your sources. I'm going to give you some tips on this, Mag, if you listen to me at all, because this is deep into my video. I doubt you ever hear it. But go to your sources that you've been learning the real true shit. Then go to the sources that they always look at that gives them the lies. Go tell them to compare the two. This is how you found out the truth, and so can they. It's your job to reach them because they don't like us. And you speak their language. You got no disrespect, but it's real. You got a piece of that dipshit in you. We don't have it. We dipshit free. But you got that dipshit in you, and it's starting to come to the point where you're being enlightened and understanding that I was a dipshit. You need to go into that dipshit world and rescue some of these dipshits and put them back into the knowledge world. Throw a few facts their way. Have them debate you because they knew you and they loved you, they cared about you, they followed you, whatever. Now they can say, oh, maybe she is right. Because just coming out to us and to just regular ass people ain't nothing. Don't mean shit. Thank you. We needed you when you voted, but now be effective. That one video ain't going to do it. Keep on talking. Right, Michael McCullough? Keep on talking. That's all I got to say. Keep on talking to your people and wake them up. Telling us, thank you, but we already knew. We've been trying to spit this game to everybody. Knowledge is power, but for some reason, idiocy is starting to become it too. Like I said, they believe the new idiocy, the new intellect is idiocy. It's like, nope, intellect is intellect. Nobody has to be a genius. You just have to learn facts. It's just that simple. Nobody's asking you to know how to, build a rocket. That ain't it. Just learn facts and stop spreading bullshit. That's it. It's not that hard. Step out your feelings because they're going to get hurt when you start finding facts. They're going to get hurt. But that's what you are. You're a big girl. You're a big boy. You're going to get hurt sometimes. You're going to fall and get a scuff, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a scar on your arm or whatever. You're going to be like, yeah, that's a good scar. I learned. I know not to do that shit again. But you got this big ass like sore and you just won't let it heal. You keep on just like continuing on with the bullshit. It's like, dude, how can you live your life in a bubble of dumb shit and then don't realize it? And people are like, oh, don't call them dumb. I call you what you are, bro. I'm not going to sit here and coddle people who do stupid shit. I don't expect that anybody do that to me. Don't fucking, I'm not a baby. Don't be fucking coddling me. I don't need to be wrapped up in a towel and feel all warm and fuzzy in fetal position bullshit. No, tell me. I can bleed and heal, but don't fucking give me this crazy shit you talking about to make people feel good. Don't tell. That's the problem we have in this country with racism and every other ill in this country. The people who are racist can't help the fact of being told they're racist. So they'll never heal because they don't ever want to deal with the fact that they're just like their fucking ancestors. They just want to hide theirs. Their ancestors was out loud and proud. They came out the racist closet. Matter of fact, they never had one. They went into the closet when we ended up fighting for our rights. And Donald Trump let them peek right out the closet. And now they're out racist and proud and saying, I ain't racist. Responsibility is what they're running from. Accountability is what they're running from. And they're hiding in this shell of like a fear or they feel like they're responsible for everything. Everybody don't like us. I'm like, all you got to do is admit it and people will start liking you. It's the first thing that comes with healing. You have to admit it. And nobody ever got over a drug, got over any kind of addiction with food or anything until you admit it. You're not going to get thin if you're fat by saying you're thin. You got to say you're fat first. So now I need to work on that. I'm not going to lose weight until I realize, you fat boy, you fat. You need to lose some weight. It may hurt. It may not sound right, but that's the only thing that's going to force me to go do it. If I say I'm thin, you look good, I ain't going to even try and lose a pound. Be truthful to yourselves and celebrate when you win, not just because you're here breathing. You can do that too, because wake up every morning, I celebrate. I lied. I celebrate every morning. I wake up and God gave me air in my lungs and I can see family and things of that nature. But I'm talking about participation shit. Just because you were in it don't necessarily mean you deserve a trophy. There are people who are actually working their ass off. There are people who are actually doing things. And participation trophies it should not be a thing. I believe. So anyway. Yeah, right? DJ, don't sugarcoat shit. Tell me the truth. I don't give a shit about, the sugary stuff. I mean, not unless it's true. You know what I'm saying? If you say like, oh, you you did something, like you won this or whatever, you worked your butt off for it. Like, yo, man, you the shit. You did this, you did that. Thank you. I deserve those accolades. But don't give me accolades for nothing. And you don't just pick out scriptures. It's clear that Jesus was not a Republican. Rude. I don't think he was any one of us. I think it was just a good person. And what they talk about when they try and bring up Jesus is always exclusionary. Jesus, to me, if you read the Bible, was inclusive, not exclusive. So anybody, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, agnostic, I don't care if you whatever you are. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe in politics whatsoever. If you have in your mind that you can't think the best for the people who are going through it the worst, and you're always thinking of yourself, I have been through things in my life. We all have. Even at my very lowest in my life, I still cared about other people who were lower than me and people who were in between or even higher, because there are other things that people go through outside of like finances or whatever. When I was going through my divorce, there are other people who are going through cancer. You just have to really ground yourself and say, I'm not the only one here. This is a we thing, not a me thing. While you can feel bad, I promise you, think good things for that next person who's going through something just as the same, the worst, or even people who just celebrated something. Be proud for them. Be happy for them. You'll get some of that joy too. But this fighting each other and trying to pull another down, that shit just tired. It's old. It has never worked. It makes you either grumpy and an asshole, selfish or whatever, or it just makes you jealous as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be any of that shit, You want to be a person who kind of like lifts other people, because when you lift other people, you soar along with them. You're right up under the sail. You go off with them. It's not a situation of you tear them down, you lift it. No, you just made an enemy once you tear somebody down. Now, how is that lifting you? You're saddled with this enemy like energy. How is that lifting you? It's not. It's a facade. So do good by people and yourself, and life will happen the way you want it to happen, in a positive manner. These people have been doing some dirt in what we've been talking about, and in life, like me, I'm always trying to think of ways that I can help people and create new systems that help us all. I'm going to keep doing that because that's what I was called to do. 5 Alarm Fire, 100%. Jesus would be deported in today's MAGA America, 100%. Because he was an immigrant. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, it's a situation where not only that, he was a person who thought about the worst of us, who celebrated us. A lot of people, especially I know some probably racist ass white people, thought that back in the day they were their people were one of the richest and part of like the Romans and all that shit like that, and had everything. They never think about that they might have been one of the people that was their people might have been one of the people on the ground where the Good Samaritans or the people who wasn't the good Samaritan being called to be Good Samaritans just walked by them and spit on them. And that could have been your family. But the Good Samaritan stopped and helped out. All the stories, if you're into this religion stuff anymore, I'm not, but if you are, I was in it. You hear of all these stories of how Jesus put ears back on and healed the sick and washed the feet of those who are homeless. And I always try to, like I tell people, pay attention to it all. Like, think about it for a hot second. And when people talk about this, you kind of like just bypass it. In the Bible, and I thought this as a kid, and my grandma almost slapped my teeth out my mouth. But it's true, because I'm visual. I was like, Grandma, it says Jesus washed these people's feet. They were homeless back then, and they didn't have anything, right? I said, yeah. I said, didn't they stink? And she's like, boy, if you don't shut up. I'm like, but Grandma, I mean, come on. They didn't take baths on a regular back then. Them feet had to be horrendous. I mean, just ew. And Jesus was just all up in the toe jam. Just all up in it. Picking it and cleaning it. I mean, buffing it. I mean, back then, nails had to be like long. You know what I'm saying? Shit was long. Here's your arm. Nails was like this. They weren't clipping their nails every day. Oh, gnarled up toes. Jesus was in it. Gnarled up, dirty, nasty. They didn't have, all their shoes was open-toed. Everywhere they went. There was crap all over these feet. That shit was nasty. And Jesus washed them. There ain't a Republican on this planet that would be Jesus-like. They don't even want to talk about homeless people in a positive way. I know so many Republicans in my lifetime that have said some of the most egregious, and not a billion of them or 100 of them or nothing like that, probably about a good 4 or 5 of them, too many, that have talked about they should be unalived, homeless people. They're just a waste. Republicans. I've never heard a Democrat say it. Not unless this one dude, I didn't know he was a Republican or Democrat. I put him in the Republican world because he said it. He could have been a Democrat, so I lied. I take that back. But the rest of them I knew were Republicans. How can you be close to Jesus if you did that? If you're talking about you can unalive them, they're worthless. And when you talk about other Republicans, when you hear these billionaires talk about it, I heard the rich guy. He's on an interview. The rich guy that owns Planeteer, or one Palantir, that helped get J.D. Vance to become the vice president. He's the one who backed him. That guy. I heard him in an interview talking about he lives up on the mountains or whatever, up in San Francisco, whatever, in Silicon Valley, and he talked about the homeless like horribly. In this interview, they're down there and all this other stuff like that. And this person said something like, don't you feel bad about the homeless? He said, no, they're down there. They can't get up here. Just talked about them like they were inanimate objects, like it was a glass or a piece of trash or something. I was like, wow, these people. Peter Thiel, thank you, DJ. Peter Thiel said that shit. I was like, these are some horrible human beings. Horrible. There ain't no amount of money in the world that can get me to say that about another human being. And you know what kind of human being you are if you are a billionaire talking about homeless people below the mountain where the city people are, because you're up in the mountains away from everybody. You're talking about them like they're a piece of trash. When you got enough money to get them housed, to get them fed, and you don't give a shit about them. To whom much is given, much is expected. They don't listen to none of that shit. They have no morality. They have no morals. Their quotes are, They're trash. I don't care. And the only reason these people are rich is because poor people, middle class people buy our shit from them. That's the only reason they're rich. And they don't give a shit about you. So why are you buying their shit? Needs to be a revolt from buying these people's crap. Let them go broke so they be at the bottom of the hill. But you know what's so tripped about that? If these rich people went broke and they were living at the bottom of the hill, us liberals and Democrats and good people would still bring them a hot meal. And they wouldn't do it for us. That's the difference between us and them. And it'll stay that way no matter what. It's just not in them. It's not in their DNA. And it's about time we recognize who they really are and know once you run into the fool, just let them go. Don't try and change them. Just leave them alone. Let them soak into their own evil. Just marinate in it and just keep them away. That's the way I'm doing it, little by little. As I build things to help people, I'm letting them go. I ain't trying to convert nobody. I'm done with that. There's no such thing as converting people. They have to see the light. It's like an addict. They're going to have to hit the rock bottom before they even think about coming out. And almost every person that I've seen that has learned or came out of MAGA, it wasn't because they listened to a liberal or someone that I've seen, that they liberal or listened to someone with common sense. They hit rock bottom and realized that Donald Trump was coming after them too, was taking something away from them too, and then woke up. And anybody that needs to be woken up, only when things come after you, tells you that person doesn't care about nobody but themselves. And if you're around them, it's worthless to be close to them. Because when you need them, they ain't going to be there unless it affects them in a good way. You get to know who your people, your friends are, your family, what they truly are like. When it's their time to be that person that helps somebody in need, and they turn around and be like, not me. That's not the person you ever want to be friends with, close with. And I don't give a damn if it's your brother, sister, mom, or mother. Love them. But that whole problem they got right there, I ain't running to it. I run away from it because it becomes a part of you. That type of shit soaks into you. I stay away from it. Because that type of energy is not something that I need in my life. What I got left of it, I'm continuing like I've been before. Stay on that path of goodness, trying to help people. Again, don't get it twisted. I'm a nice guy, but I can be an asshole too. I don't choose to be one. It's a defense mechanism. And it comes out whenever I got to defend myself or someone I care about or love. And just to let people know. You've been here, you know. But you guys can see how you could support me whenever you can. I appreciate it. Still trying to get the camera. I'll end up getting it probably by the end of the month. I appreciate you being here, DJ W. Appreciate you as a member. Root Interplanet Janet, the same. Swift Returns, Mike McCullough. Getting the shout out. 5 Alarm Fire, always a pleasure to see you. DJ, you know, always a pleasure. Yeah, I see you say Stephen Mills like that too. Most definitely. Can't stand that water-headed fool. It doesn't got that water head. It's just like a small chin and it's got this big bubble like it's about to bust. I see. We see more people. I think that's about it. And other people who've come in. Thanks for the new people that have come. I appreciate you. Maybe I'll see you guys next time, but always around 5:30. It's getting closer to 6 now because today my audio went out. Sorry about that. I had to fix my little system here. I had to reboot it, so I came on a lot later than I expected. But I got it together. To be an asshole, but it gets things done, right, McCullough? It does. I'm only that way when I get tested. Other than that, I'm good and chill. You can, I mean, anybody who knows me, I'm that chill dude that just sits in the cut. I ain't got no problems. I'm chill. But I'm not the one to be fucked with because I immediately go from 0 to 1,000. Fuck 100. I go from 0 to 1,000. I'll call you out. I don't give a fuck who I'll call you out, the entire family out. I don't care what it is. It's just an attack mechanism, it's a protection. I don't know why I do it, but I do. But it's trip because mine will be funny sometimes. It'll be painful and hilarious. Other people will be laughing, the other person will be hurting. But it's just a defense mechanism. Like other animals have shells and shit and darts they shoot and poison. Mine's is verbal poison. But anyway, I don't like going there. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe. All right. I'll see some of you guys tomorrow around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully nothing breaks down like it did today. But other than that, y'all, much love to y'all. And I'll see you when I see you.